Hey guys, Brett here, and in this video I want to tell you two things. I want to tell you a couple of hard facts about making money online, and then I want to tell you how I got started personally with making money online. Okay, first a little disclaimer. I am in the internet marketing niche, so all of my experience is going to be referencing someone who is in the internet marketing niche and is trying to make money in the internet marketing niche. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, I want to tell you the number one thing that you should be doing. You should be creating products, period. I mean, that is not up for argument, that is not up for discussion. That is the number one thing you should be doing. Now, let me tell you why. Product launching and affiliate marketing actually go hand in hand. They're two sides of the same coin. You know, a lot of times you see people and they seem to think that there's some kind of difference between product launching and affiliate marketing. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to be an affiliate and you're going to market other people's products, or are you going to be a vendor and create products of your own? They're actually the same thing. One lends itself very well to the other. And let me explain to you exactly what I mean. When you create a product, you start selling your product, you get a few sales. What are you doing now? You are building a buyer's list. You are building 100% buyers, which will then lead to affiliate marketing. And when you affiliate market for people, what are you doing? You are building up contacts with other marketers. You're building up working relationships with them, which will then lead to them marketing your products for you. So you actually get more sales when you market other people's products because you've built up contacts with other affiliates who will then market for you. And you also get more emails for your buyers list when you launch a product. And you can actually see these things actually go in a circle. There's two sides of the same coin. One works very well with the other. Everybody who is successful does both of those things. I know a lot of affiliate marketers, and I don't know a single one of them that doesn't also have a product of their own. I also know a lot of product vendors, and I don't know a single one of them that doesn't make a lot of money as an affiliate marketer. A lot of people just don't understand that. They just don't realize that in their career. Fortunately, I realized it really quickly right from the start. I was able to see the relationship between the two things. So once we start to accept that affiliate marketing and product launching go hand in hand and are two aspects of the exact same business, the question then becomes, how do I get into it? Which one should I do first? Which thing should I do first? Well, the most easy thing to do first is to launch a product. I mean, you could try to build up a list first. You can put up a squeeze page somewhere. You can maybe spend money on some Facebook ads, try to drive traffic to it. You can maybe buy solo ads and spend money on that and hope you get opt-ins. But the problem with that is you're not getting all buyers. You're getting a mixture of buyers and freebie seekers, and you're spending a bunch of money. Well, you could just as easily spend that time and that money into getting your first product created and do a launch and get an email list and actually get it for free, because you'll most likely make your money back when you launch your product. Now, a lot of people seem to think that getting a product created or creating a product is going to be hard, it's going to be expensive, it's going to be a ton of work. Well, I'm going to tell you a secret. It's not. It's not a ton of work, it's not hard, and it's not expensive. Now, if you're a person like me, I'm a trained software developer. I can go ahead and write my own software myself, and that's what I do. I actually launch software products. You're not going to want to create a training product at this point because you don't have the experience to create a training product. So that means you're going to have to launch software. Well, if you're not a software developer, obviously you're going to need someone else to develop the software for you. And people are seeming to think that, it's going to cost a ton of money to get a software created for you. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It doesn't cost that much. There are freelance developers all over the world that will work at extremely reasonable rates. In fact, I used to be a freelance developer, and I used to create products for some well-known marketers, some marketers that you know about right now that you've probably bought products off of. I was behind the scenes creating their software for them. If you're just getting started, if you don't have a lot of technical experience, a really good first product to have created is a WordPress plugin. And the reason being is WordPress is a standardized platform. It's the same for everybody. Also, a plugin is going to be something that gets installed on people's sites, and it doesn't need to be updated as often as, say, a website or a membership site. So WordPress plugins are just low maintenance. They're not as high maintenance as running a server or running a membership site, or running a online software as a service, which is what I do. WordPress is a great way for anybody to get in and get started with product creation at a low cost. You can go over to Elance right now. There are plenty of freelance workers from India, from Pakistan, from all over the world, even from the US, from certain parts of Canada. And these are highly skilled, highly trained workers that will create a WordPress plugin for you for a couple $100. I actually, just for my main training that I'm about to be releasing, I had a WordPress plugin created on Elance for me. I paid $239. I 100% guarantee you I could make 10 times my money off that plugin if I wanted to. Now that alone is amazing. I mean, what else can you do where you spend $250 and then a month later you make $2,500? I try and get a return on investment like that from anything else. Call your bank up and ask your broker what he has that will turn $200 into $2,000. He's going to laugh at you. But not only that, when I launched that plugin, if I wanted to, I'm not going to, it was just for example, but if I wanted to launch that plugin, I actually would be getting buyers added to my list because I would get affiliates to promote it for me. I mean, when you think about it, $200 to start a business is extremely low cost. I mean, that's less than like one solo ad. That's less than a Facebook campaign. That's less than what probably most people spend on IM products that they never actually open or use. Something else that puts people off a lot, though, is where are they going to get the idea from? I mean, saying that you can go to Elance and you can get a WordPress plugin made really cheaply is one thing, but you have to have the idea. You have to tell the freelancer what you want him to build. So where are you going to get the idea from? I'm going to tell you another little secret about the IM business that nobody will admit. Most marketers won't even admit it to themselves. Most marketers don't even realize it themselves, and when they do, they won't admit it. And here it is. The IM business model is super, super inefficient. Nobody wants to admit it, but it is an absolute truth that every single launch, even the most successful ones, leave tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. Let me give you a real example, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we are. We're on JVZoo. We're looking at the top sellers, and you can actually see the very best top seller ever launched on JVZoo was Videomaker FX, which sold 25,500 plus front-end copies. And you can actually look, you can see it has a conversion rate of 6.73%. So what that means is that this particular product got about 380,000 plus hits to the sales page. So now what that means is we know there are at least 380,000 people on other marketers' lists. There are at least 380,000 people buying IM products. And we know this because those people had clicked on the Videomaker FX product launch. So I want you to keep that in mind. There are at least 378,900 people throughout the world interested in buying IM products. There's actually probably a lot more, probably 10 or 20 times more than that, because you got to remember, all those emails that were sent out about Videomaker FX, not everybody opened the emails. But we're just going to stick with 378,900 as a conservative estimate for this discussion. Now here we are, we're looking at some of the other products that sold on JVZoo. You can actually see this one right here, WP Lead Explosion Main. WP it was WordPress, so it's a WordPress product. And you can see it sold 1,500 copies. It had an awesome conversion rate, 9.76%, and it had a low refund rate, under 3%. But it only sold 1,500 plus copies. And what this means is, since it had an almost 20% conversion rate, that means it only got about 7,500 hits. Most people never even heard of this software, even though it sold very well, even though it converted very well. The simple fact is that for one reason or another, the vendor of this product was unable to get a lot of people to even know that his software existed. And you see, what most vendors do is they launch the product for 7 days or 5 days, and that's it then. They forget about it. They don't ever actively promote it afterwards. So now what we can do is a little bit of math, and we know that since only about 7,500 people even heard of this product, that means there's like 370,000 people left that don't know anything about it. Those people buy ION products, but they just never heard of this. So what we can do is create a similar product to this. This product did not penetrate the market very deeply at all. This guy sold 1,500 plus front-end copies. He made some money, probably in the mid 5 figures on this launch. He was happy with that, and that was it. But there's still plenty left over for us to jump in here and create a similar product. In fact, there's still hundreds of thousands of people who never even heard of this product, even though the ones that did hear about it liked it. It has an excellent 19.76% conversion rate. So this is how you get product ideas. Look around on JVZoo and look for products like this. Products that only sold 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 copies, which most of them only sell about that many, which is why I say this business is kind of inefficient, but that had good conversion rates and low refund rates. What this tells you is that the problem wasn't with the product. The problem was that it just didn't penetrate the market enough. That means that there's plenty of room open for another guy to slip in with his version of that product. And there's nothing immoral about that at all. Some people seem to think like, oh, hey, I'm copying somebody else's idea. Well, there's more than one car company. There's more than one hamburger joint in the world. There's more than one pizza place. There's nothing wrong with getting into the market. If company A didn't penetrate the market deeply, there's nothing wrong with you getting in as well and picking up the customers that they were unable to get. I would actually suggest that you buy it as well. Like if I was going to maybe copy this and I was going to make a similar product to that, I would buy it myself. I would use it. I would test it out. And I would look for ways that I can make it even a little bit better. And you should do that as well. And then you should make notes of things that you would like to see different. Give the plugin to your freelance developer as well, and give him your notes and say, make me a version that has these improvements. Just make sure you let them know that they can't reuse the other guy's code. They have to do everything from scratch. And in that way, you can very quickly, very easily, without doing any work, with only spending a couple $100, get yourself a product that should convert pretty well. So now that you've got your product, the question becomes, how do you start getting sales to it? Well, everybody knows the way to start selling a product, whether or not they realize it or not. And here it is. It's the Warrior Forum. One of the most profitable products that I ever launched was actually one of my first ones, and it was done right here through the Warrior Forum. In fact, my first product was done right here through the Warrior Forum. And why did I choose the Warrior Forum to launch my first product? Well, first of all, it's incredibly cheap. I mean, right now, you can get a WSO for like $20. When I was doing it, it was $40. But you'll get about 180 to 200 clicks to that WSO. That means you're paying 10 cents a click. And where else can you get targeted clicks for 10 cents a piece? And these are targeted clicks because if you're in the IM niche and you're selling an IM related product, well, everybody that comes to the Warrior Forum is interested in IM. Nobody comes here to talk about basketball. So these are highly targeted clicks for only 10 cents a piece. And the goal here is not to make money. You need to keep that in mind. The goal is to sell your product at a favorable cost, a cost that is a no-brainer, that makes people want to buy right away, and to only do two things. First, you want to make sure you're constantly paying the bump. So if it's $20 to bump up your WSO and get it back on the top listings, you want to make sure that you're at least making enough money from each bump through the product sales to pay for the next bump. Also, you kind of want to try, I mean, it's ideal. If you don't do it, it's fine, but it's ideal to try to make a little bit of profit so that way you can get back that initial cost that you paid the freelancer to create your product for you. Now, here's a very simple diagram of the process. So you start off, you get some sales on the Warrior Forum. You're not making any money, but you are getting your investment back, so you are building your list for free. Once you build a list, you can then go ahead and start affiliate marketing for other marketers. When you affiliate market for other marketers, you make some money. You get a commission. So now you're making a profit. You're also building a relationship with those affiliates. You are sending them sales. You are getting into their good graces. You're, getting into the business. You're building a little bit of a relationship with them. And when you launch your next product, you can go to them then and say, hey, I sent you some sales before. How would you like to return the favor and get me back now? And most of them will. So now you get more sales because it's not just your efforts, it's the other affiliates that you build a relationship with. So you're getting more sales, you're making an actual profit now from selling your own products, and you're getting a bigger list. And then you repeat the process over again. You now affiliate market for more marketers, build an even better relationship, and just keep repeating. There is a reason why everybody launches products so much, because it works. You build your list and then you make your money later from the affiliate sales, which also builds a relationship with the affiliates and then helps you get more sales on your next launch. This is exactly how I got started. This is exactly what I do. And this is exactly what dozens of other affiliate marketers do. The last thing that I want to suggest that everybody keeps in mind is the one thing that keeps people from making money online. I mean, there's no hidden trick, there's no hidden secret, there's really not even a lot of intelligence involved. It's just a simple process that you repeat over and over. I mean, I'll be quite honest, I'm usually a pretty blunt person. I know some really dumb marketers that make a real lot of money. The difference between you and them, I shouldn't say that. The difference between people who don't make money and them is that they take action. I mean, don't think that you're going to get into it. Don't think you're going to look into product creation. This is how you make money. Take action on it. In fact, stop watching this video right now. Go over to JVZoo and start doing some research and start figuring out what kind of product you can get made